Now, one of the biggest things when you buy yourself a arrow tube guard like this is they usually come in black. And when you put this on the back of your pack, to have this big black blob on the back of your pack is not impressive. You kind of want it camouflaged. So I had these laying around, which seem to work in their they're matte acrylic paint, so they're flat color. And I only used four of them. And I mean, I barely used any that was in them. I bought a set of paintbrushes, which were cheap. I'll have the links in the bottom to what I did. And this stuff here is called Clear Acrylic Sealer, matte finish. And this is put on last. Now, I did two coats in this. So I basically drew some circles on the tube, basically in different spots, different colors. And then I took some black and ran these little edges and stuff and just kind of make it look as broke up, as camouflaged as I can, basically. This will hold 12 arrows as long as you don't put broadheads on them, and keep your broadheads separate. A lot of times you need an arrow tube when you decide you're going different places. I mean, last thing you want to run out of is arrows for your bow. But like I said, I didn't like the black. And everywhere I looked, there really was nothing out there. I'm surprised nobody's made these in a camouflage pattern. I know Kiryu, my pack that I use, did have one with a video of their different camos. They said they were testing, and this was quite a few years ago, and they never ever came out with it. I don't know why. It definitely would have been a big seller, that's for sure. But the acrylic paints I used was these, and like I said, I'll have a link on the bottom. Now, it took 2 or 3 days to do this. It didn't happen in one day. You know, one day I kind of drew the blobs and of the colors, and then after, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of it drying, because it dries pretty quick, then I added the black lines to it, around it. And then I waited for it to dry. Then I added the squigglies in between the colors. Um, is what I ended up doing, and just to break the outline. Now, once I had it all pretty much painted, I then waited for it to dry good. I waited a whole day for the paints to dry really good. And then early in the morning, I gave it a spray of this to protect it and to keep the paint from rubbing off on anything. I waited a good 6 hours, and then I gave it another spray down for two coats of it, and now it's ready to go. There is no way that's, rubbing off at all. The other thing I did to this arrow quiver is in the top, I put a piece of foam. So when I slide the arrows in, it keeps everything pretty tight and there's no rattle, no nothing. To keep it from sliding in, because with these arrow quivers you basically twist and pull, and to keep this from sliding in, I took a piece of duct tape around here. I don't know if you can see it. And I ran it all the way around to keep it from sliding in. And you'll see here, I put a piece of foam in that end, so when I put this on, it keeps everything nice and tight. I think it came out pretty good. Not too bad. So if you have an arrow tube and you want to camouflage it, I think this is the way you do it. It worked pretty good. And a lot of things I do is trial and error. But if you want your arrow tube protector camouflaged, this didn't cost much. I think the paints were like $20, and the paintbrushes were like $7, and then whatever that stuff was, I don't know, $7 or whatever. But I have so much leftover paint that I could probably do another 50 projects. So that's the thing. So if you'd like to get an arrow tube camouflaged for your hunting needs, you might want to try this. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.